Sitting in the LaGuardia Airport in New York City on a Sunday morning with only a Southwest airline buddy pass to show for, and no guarantee of a flight back home, was very nerve-wracking and frustrating, but all I could do was wait. 9 hours later, and 5 flights have come and gone, and I finally made it on the next flight by the skin of my teeth. And that was just the first of my 2 flights needed to get back home. Before my struggle of getting home, I knew flying this way was going to be a gamble, but buying a ticket just wasn't possible. According to USA Today's article, How to Fly Standby on Last-Minute Cheap Flights, written by Jeanette Bellevue, she says that most airlines actually fly completely full and sometimes are even overbooked. With that being said, these seats are off. People are offered money to compensate for giving up their seats. This is a downer for the standby flyers. It puts standby and buddy passes even farther down on the standby list because they are non-revenue flyers. As a frequent standby flyer, I have been through these struggles and I have seen the emotions that come along with this and the frustrations. Standby is not the way to fly. It may be cheaper, but if you have a busy life and you have to be home or get to or from somewhere in a timely manner, it is just better to reserve a ticket. Also, if you plan on flying with a family, flying standby is not close to not even possible. Throughout this speech, I want to address the issues that come along with flying standby. The waiting, the gambling, the lack of packing you're able to do, the fact that you have to fly solo, and many more frustrations. First, I want to talk about the waiting game. According to Business Dictionary, the least traveled days are Tuesday through Thursday. This is a bummer for people who plan on taking family vacations. It violates the work schedule, and because most people tend to like to take their vacations on a Friday and vacation through the weekend. A CNN article, Standby Travel Not for the Faint of the Heart by Emanuela Grinberg, says that the wait could be days on standbys, and it has become even harder lately. With that being said, having to fly on certain days is difficult to go on larger trips. In MSN Money's article, Want Cheap Airfares, Buddy Up article by Donna Friedman, says that luggage creates a hassle for the airlines, and many airlines actually require that standby flyers are not allowed to check baggage. Most people just emphasize that they only take a carry-on, but check baggage is allowed. When I flew to New York City over spring break, I was able to check baggage, but it did get lost on the way there, and that was actually a pain being in New York City without any clothes for a few days. This limits the type of trip that you can take. So if you plan on taking a week-long vacation, you're going to need a larger suitcase that will require you to check it. A website called Gadling had an article, 10 Tips for Flying Standby by Grant Martin, and this also confirms that checking luggage makes it more difficult, and you don't look as well to the flying agents if you have checked baggage. They will choose someone else who only has carry-on baggage over you. And also your luggage could get lost, like I said before. Next, I want to talk about the frustration and the emotional ride that comes along with flying standby. The biggest complication would be the emotional toll of not knowing how you're getting home. You don't know what flight you may take, and you don't know what route you're going to take to get home, and you may not even know when you are getting home. Stated in an article in Flyer Talk, When Buddy Passes Go Horribly Wrong by Brian Cohen, says that flying standby needs to be wisely planned, which I could not agree more. You should have many different routes. You should plan ahead, call ahead to see what the flight seats are like, if it is open or if it is going to be full. Sitting in the airport all day or even days can be exhausting and frustrating. The fact that you don't know how you're getting home is exhausting and frustrating in itself. It is a huge gamble. A lot of the times, MSN Money says that they see standby flyers circling the gate area, waiting for ticket agents to call their name to get their ticket. A lot of agents find this rather annoying. They would rather them wait and help themselves. And also, ticket agents are more busy helping out the revenued customers, customers that pay to fly. And ticket agents can't always help flyers find a way home. A lot of this is left to the flyer itself to plan this. USA Today says that a lot of the time the planner is finding their way home by themselves and just asking to be put on a standby list. I hope I've made it clear that the decision to purchase a ticket and have a guaranteed flight home is better than potentially having a cheaper flight but not potentially getting home on time. I've talked about the dreadful ways of traveling, the many restrictions and frustrations, and also that purchasing or reserving a seat is a lot more realistic, especially for our busy world. Even though this is not a world issue, but it does affect many people who travel. I know I travel frequently to and from college, like I'm sure most of you guys do, who are out of state. And also a lot of people go on vacations. Flying is a very popular way of transportation now. It is not life-threatening, but it is still an issue. You can purchase a ticket early enough, and if you plan ahead, a lot of times if you purchase a ticket online, there are web deals, and you can potentially get cheaper prices. Consider the suffering you will be passing if you realize reserving a seat is better than standby. This being said, you won't be stuck in the very back of the plane in the middle seat between two strangers. So don't fly standby and purchase a ticket to fly home on time. Thanks.